Hello, this is Molly Ramirez, Director of Marketing and Communications at Lubbock Symphony Orchestra. Today we're here with a really fun guest. We have Jeremy Couture. You'll hear more about him in just a sec, but first I wanted to tell you, season tickets are on sale now. You can get those by calling 806-762-1688 or by visiting lubbocksymphony.org/subscribe. Welcome, Jeremy. We're glad to have you in studio today. Well, Jeremy, first of all, let's start with a little bit about you. Born and raised right here in Lubbock, Texas, Jeremy is a homegrown talent who's been making waves in the local music scene for years. A proud graduate of Monterey High School and Texas Tech University, where he earned his bachelor's in music performance with a concentration in cello. Today, Jeremy is a full-time gigging musician performing original songs and crowd favorite covers across the Lubbock area. He's been recognized as a finalist in the Blue Light Live Singer-Songwriter Competition and took a second place in both the Luca and Park East Battle of the Bands. Beyond the stage, he's passionate about music education, teaching cello both privately and in schools throughout Lubbock ISD. You may have seen him on stage with the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra, the Lubbock Civic Orchestra, or even in Ballet Lubbock's The Nutcracker. He's also contributed to local projects like Rock Ballet, Click, and performs with groups. As the founder of the Lubbock Live Music Festival, Jeremy continues to be a powerful force in shaping and supporting our arts scene. Whether he's playing solo, collaborating, or teaching the next generation of musicians, Jeremy is all about keeping music alive and thriving in the Hub City. Welcome, Jeremy.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You have such a long bio. You do so much around here in Lubbock.
Yeah, well, when you write it all out, it kind of gets a little long.
Yeah. Okay, well, so first of all, you grew up in Lubbock. I want to know, how did that shape your musical journey?
Well, there's a lot of great art and music just in Lubbock in general. I think starting in school, having orchestra be available so early in school programs, like I started in middle school, that kind of was very helpful in shaping a lot of that. I know that there were, at one time, a couple of elementary school programs for a bit, like starting 6th grade, I think, because I was the grade where 6th moved, but you could start the last year of elementary school to go into middle, so...
And you play cello classically. What other instruments do you play?
Yeah, so I play cello, and then I play guitar, as well as I sing.
Okay.
Those are the ones that I'm willing to say I play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have others that you'd like to try out sometimes?
I know my chords on a piano, but I wouldn't call myself a piano player.
Okay. And you've played all over Lubbock in so many different settings, from orchestras to rock shows. Do you remember the first time you ever played for an audience?
Let me see. I know... Well, I have my middle school concerts when I was there, but as far as on my own, I believe that was 2018 when I first did my guitar thing, which was at Flipper's Tavern.
Flipper's Tavern, okay.
For about 60 people-ish.
And now you're playing on stage at Buddy Holly Hall and your own music festival. There's definitely a stark difference in that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. You've also played in the Lubbock Symphony and the Civic Orchestra, but you also do your songs on guitar. How do you balance those two very different classical worlds to, your normal world that you typically play in, your pop, punk, rock, and all of that?
They're definitely two different animals, but they kind of also complement each other because one came from the other. So having the classical background, it makes things easier for like writing chord progressions or honestly dexterity in playing notes on the guitar if I'm trying to play lead parts. I will say sometimes going the other direction from non-classical back to classical, like say when I go play with the symphony, sometimes there's more rules you need to follow, and you got to play what's right on the page. So sometimes I got to reel it in a little bit.
Very cool. And you also have this quartet that you've been doing at Narrow Bar. That's been really fun because it's classical music, but you're actually playing pop songs. So it's kind of filling a gap, I think, in the community where, you're hearing more of pop music with that, classically trained background because your quartet is entirely made up of classically trained musicians.
Right. Yeah. Excuse me. That sort of just kind of came about, and we do some classical repertoire as well as the pop tunes. So that kind of just formed. We don't really have a name that we've come up with yet, but it just kind of is becoming what it is, and you play various places, and it's good for weddings
Yeah.
and receptions and whatnot as well.
So that's one of your newest projects that you're working on, but one that's really near and dear to your heart is your music festival. Tell us a little bit about the Lubbock Live Music Festival, why you kind of started that, and where you see that going.
Sure, yeah. So Lubbock Live Festival is a nonprofit music and arts festival that I started this is our 5th year this year. We started, we're supposed to have our first year 2020, and then that didn't end up happening. The idea behind it was kind of well, there was a lot of great music around Lubbock that I had found through just performing and going out and playing and seeing what was happening, and kind of felt like there wasn't a very big audience, or a lot of shows and bands weren't known very well. So the idea being bringing a lot of bands together to one spot, one show, to kind of, for lack of a better word, showcase the arts, and then it turned into more than just music, and to visual art and dance and whatever other art forms that we could find. Theater we've had before, and you put it all in one day and give Lubbock people an opportunity to come see how much art there is here. And then we wanted to add a further thing to that by donating portions of the proceeds to a different local arts program. And so each year, arts programs can apply to be the beneficiary, which this year's beneficiary is the Lubbock Youth Orchestras, which I'm super excited about because I played in the Lubbock Youth Orchestras when I was in, I think, my junior and senior year of high school. But
So it's all coming back full circle for you. How exciting. So Lubbock Live Music Festival this year, 2025, it's going to be one of your biggest ones yet. Who do you have performing? Who's your headliners?
Right, yes. So we have the Band of Heathens will be our headliner for this year, with direct support from Silverado, which was previously Mike and the Moon Pies, a Lubbock band, Lubbock area, and very big around here, and other places, as well as Lara Lynn. And then besides that, we have some other great local acts like Jojo DeSalvo and Clement Hall, as well as the Lubbock Youth Orchestras will be performing.
We're really excited to have a symphony orchestra perform at a music festival. You've kind of seen that more recently with like Coachella doing the LA Phil, and so we're excited for like our kids to have the opportunity to do that so early on. So thank you, Jeremy. But tickets are on sale now. Is that correct?
Yes, we have pre-sale tickets right now for $15. You can find them on our website, and you will want to get them now while they're still pre-sale, because they go full price July 11th.
Okay. So July 11th, they are currently $15 right now. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then after July 11th, they'll be $20.
$20.
Great. And then y'all are a nonprofit too, so that's kind of where that donating to other arts organizations comes into play, which is absolutely phenomenal. But so Lubbock Live Music Festival, again, that's going to be this summer. Hope to see y'all there. Jeremy, who are some of your influences when it comes to music?
Like my influences that for my style and how I write my originals, is that? Yeah.
And some of your favorite artists too.
Just in general. Okay. Well, I kind of tell people my music is somewhat influenced by probably John Mayer and this Australian group called Hiatus Coyote. They're kind of a neo soul rock group, and I'm sure people know who John Mayer is. But I love all sorts. I listen to classical and from classical all the way through kind of like hard rock and rap and pretty much everything. So it's kind of hard to narrow it down.
And the music festival was kind of showing, that there's a little bit of everything. You have all kinds of music in the music festival, I would say.
Yes, all sorts of genres, which is kind of the point. Lubbock has a very thriving red dirt country scene, and a lot of people also don't realize that there are a lot of great bands in other genres too, like jazz and rock, indie, all sorts of stuff.
So one day you're hoping John Mayer will perform at Lubbock Live Music Festival. Who's one of those dream guests?
Yeah, that would probably cost
A lot.
yeah, probably double our entire budget right now. But,
So,
yeah.
and to give you the opportunity, y'all are taking partnerships right now for Lubbock Live Music Festival. That's correct?
Yes. So we have sponsorship packages still available, and we're still looking. And since we are a nonprofit, it is a tax write-off for businesses.
Yes. Jeremy, I want to know, what's the most unexpected place you've ever played a gig?
I have to think about that for a second.
And you made a post the other day. Somebody tipped you $100 on at a gig.
Yeah. Well, that was last night. Yeah, I was playing at a hotel, which hotels could be a good spot. Those are kind of interesting. But yeah, they asked me to play "Lips of an Angel" by Hinder, which is just kind of a funny request in and of itself. Very middle school song for me.
The comments on that post got kind of funny. I saw some other musicians were chiming in with the funniest requests they've ever received.
Right. Yeah. I played in a warehouse for a wedding once. Oh no, I got it. I remember. I played in Dillard's once.
That's crazy.
I got asked. They had some special shoppers thing, and they had the store closed for other people, but only these specific people who had some deal could come in and shop first. And they had bands, and I got paid in cologne.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Jeremy, for sharing your talent with us today and kind of bringing a new love of music and showing the difference between classical and, your regular music on a daily basis. Thanks so much, Jeremy, for being in studio with us today. Anything you want to say before you go?
Well, just thanks for having me, and I just love that I'm able to help kind of artists that you can do both classical and non-classical, and they actually kind of go hand in hand. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Jeremy Couture, everyone. Next week, we'll have Nia Threet, our Patreon Services Coordinator at the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra, joining us. She'll be chatting with Mr. Eric Allen, so we hope to see y'all then. Thanks so much.